You know what I noticed about the playoffs this year that's been great? The way the game has been called refereeing in the playoffs is it's the best football ever. The hand checking that goes on downfield no longer. I don't have to sit there and like third and 22 see a spot foul, 50-yard gain. Let them play how they've been refereeing in the playoffs. They're letting basically some calls that usually they call pass interference on these calls in the regular season. The way they're calling the games right now, the NFL needs to say, look, this is how we're going to call games from now on. This is how it should be. Because the way you have it set up in the regular season, defenses can't play football. This refereeing, as far as pass interference goes, has been the best I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of calls that could have went either way, not called, and that's how the game is so much better this way. I have to emphasize to Roger Goodell, whatever these referees are doing this year in the playoffs, and it's a dramatic noticeability because I'm noticing it more frequent in these playoffs than I have anywhere else. Usually in playoff football, you notice it, but not like I have this time because you've been seeing so many spot fouls in the last year or so from third and 22, 40-yard gain spot foul for bogus interference. Whatever they're doing now, letting them play, this is how it needs to be called. They need to have a film study and show every referee this is how you call a game from now on in the regular season because the games have been so much more enjoyable. You know how frustrating it is when your defense is playing good and they get a cheap-ass interference call that shouldn't have been called? That's how NFL should be called, right how it is right now. So, Roger Goodell, this has been the best postseason ever because you've been letting these players play. That's how it should be. And guess what? The games are still high scoring. They're not 55-50, but 27-24. It's a better brand of football than what we've noticed all throughout the last couple years in the playoffs. It's just way better. I hate when a team plays good defense and they get a fucking stupid pass interference call that shouldn't have been called, that wouldn't be called in the playoffs. Please, for the love of football, keep continuing with the way the referees are calling the game now. This has been the best. I can watch football all day when it's called like this. But when you call a interference call, it's terrible. So, best refereeing, just the greatest. It's been the greatest postseason ever because they've been allowed to play. And I love it. And I hope the NFL continues to allow it to happen like this.